For weeks, Caitlin Clark was repeatedly targeted on the court while the WNBA stayed silent. Fans were upset, and many analysts avoided talking about the situation. Then everything changed when some of the NBA's biggest stars, not WNBA players, publicly spoke out. These weren't scripted comments or polite compliments. They openly praised Clark while criticizing the way she was being treated. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Steph Curry, and several other NBA stars made it clear they believed Clark was being unfairly targeted. Curry, in particular, reached a point where he could no longer stay quiet. After watching the hard fouls and the lack of response, he spoke out, and his comments quickly spread across the basketball world. When a player of Curry's stature publicly defends someone, people pay attention. He wasn't the only one either. At least 6 NBA All-Stars went on record saying Caitlin Clark is not just a popular rookie, but an elite player who deserves respect instead of constant physical treatment. Their direct comments surprised many fans. One of the most unexpected voices was NBA All-Star and champion Pascal Siakam. Many expected him to give a simple, safe answer when asked about Clark, but instead he brought up her name on his own. He didn't mention her as a casual compliment. He spoke about her as a player whose talent and impact deserve to be mentioned alongside NBA-level stars.
Oh man, Caitlin she's a beast, man. Like, and they love her. So I'll probably say Caitlin Clark. I love Tyrese, but she's another level in terms of just the love that.
Pascal Siakam wasn't comparing Caitlin Clark to other WNBA players. Instead, he placed her in the same conversation as NBA point guard Tyrese Halliburton. He also said Caitlin was receiving the most love from fans, showing that her influence goes far beyond one league. That wasn't just praise. It was recognition of how much attention and respect she has earned. Her name is now coming up in discussions usually reserved for the NBA's biggest stars, showing that she has crossed the usual boundaries between the two leagues. Siakam could have mentioned anyone, but he chose Caitlin Clark, and he did it without being asked, making his comments even more meaningful. It reflected a growing belief among NBA players that her impact is impossible to ignore. Obi Toppin also shared his thoughts, and although he isn't known for giving long or dramatic interviews, his words about Clark stood out because they felt genuine. Known for playing with energy and confidence, Toppin spoke about Caitlin with sincere respect and appreciation, making his comments feel far more meaningful than any carefully prepared public statement.
Caitlin's amazing. Super amazing. She's a great player. Having her be courtside and watching our games is awesome. We see the excitement that she has on the sides, but just like she's doing that, we do the same. Like when they're playing, like it's so much. It's a joy to.
What stood out most wasn't the exact wording, but the sense of equality in Obi Toppin's comments. He spoke about Caitlin Clark and the WNBA with the same respect he gives NBA players, not as something secondary or less important. He recognized their success in the same way he would celebrate achievements in the NBA, showing a level of mutual respect that isn't seen very often. Seeing Caitlin courtside wasn't just about a famous athlete attending a game. It reflected a real basketball connection and genuine admiration from NBA players. His comments may not have become major headlines, but they showed something bigger. Caitlin is no longer viewed only as a women's basketball star. She is being respected simply as a great basketball player. When NBA players start talking about you as one of their own, it says a lot about the respect you've earned. Tyrese Halliburton took that support even further. Since he and Caitlin are both based in the same city, he has seen her journey up close. Instead of offering a routine compliment or a public relations statement, he spoke from personal experience, praising her because he has watched how she handles constant pressure and attention without backing down.
I think for me, getting to actually spend time around her, be around her, get to know her personally, she's just an amazing person, an amazing player. She deals with there's a lot of rhetoric behind her that she really has no control over. And I think that the way she handles that is just amazing. Like, I think when it comes to the game of basketball, like she's probably top 5 most famous people that are playing right now, just in general. That includes our league as well.
Tyrese Halliburton placed Caitlin Clark in the same conversation as some of the NBA's biggest names, including LeBron James, Steph Curry and Nikola Jokic. He wasn't speaking out of excitement or hype, but from what he has seen through the numbers, the media attention, and the overwhelming fan support surrounding her. As an NBA All-Star who understands the pressure of representing a franchise, Halliburton recognized that Caitlin is dealing with an even greater spotlight early in her career. More importantly, his comments showed genuine empathy. He wasn't only defending her talent as a player, but also acknowledging the criticism, pressure, and unnecessary attention she has faced despite never asking for it. He made it clear that she is fully capable of handling the challenge. When LeBron James speaks, the entire sports world pays attention because his words carry enormous influence. Every comment he makes is analyzed, especially after leading the game for more than 2 decades. That is why his support for Caitlin Clark was more than a casual compliment. It was a strong endorsement that cut through the noise and focused attention on what he believed was truly important about her impact on the sport.
Because everybody is looking for you to say anything, and they're going to splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. And I think for her, the one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. They flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right.
LeBron James isn't just supporting Caitlin Clark. He's supporting the growth of the game as a whole. He understands everything she has been dealing with, from nonstop media attention to the cultural impact that comes with changing a sport. Having experienced that level of pressure himself, he knows what it's like to carry huge expectations while becoming the face of a league. That's why many believe he sees part of his own journey in Caitlin's. She didn't just earn his admiration for her talent. She earned his respect for the way she has handled the spotlight, and that carries even greater meaning. Trae Young also showed his respect in a different way. Known for his confidence, deep three-point shooting, and fearless personality, Trae suggested a three-point shooting contest with Caitlin Clark. It takes confidence to challenge one of basketball's most talked-about shooters, but his comments also reflected genuine appreciation for her ability. Rather than being just another compliment between elite shooters, it showed that he views Caitlin as someone worthy of that level of competition and respect.
Hype about Steph and Sabrina. I know that you have spoken about Caitlin Clark. You're a big Caitlin Clark fan.
Oh, yeah.
She, of course, is an excellent shooter. Would you ever do a Caitlin Trae three-point contest at All-Star?
Of course I would. I've gotten to talk to her too throughout her college years. We're the only 2 people that ever led college in points and assists. That's a crazy stat. I'd have to definitely practice a lot more than I have for these previous three-point competitions. I'd be ready for sure.
Only 2 players in NCAA history have led the nation in both scoring and assists during the same season, and Caitlin Clark is one of them. That achievement is far more than an interesting statistic. It places her among the greatest college players ever. Trae Young's comments reflected that level of respect. He didn't speak down to her or treat her accomplishments lightly. Instead, he praised her as a rare talent and even admitted he would need extra practice before taking her on in a three-point shooting contest. That kind of statement shows genuine respect from one elite shooter to another. Caitlin isn't just part of basketball conversations anymore. She has become one of the main topics. Trae was even willing to share the spotlight and compete with her directly. Paul George also offered a thoughtful perspective. Rather than focusing on highlights, viral moments, hard fouls, or shooting records, he looked at the bigger picture. Instead of giving simple praise or criticism, he explained the context surrounding Caitlin's rise and why her impact on the game deserves serious attention.
You gotta put it in perspective, right? These girls have been grinding to grow the game of basketball in the WNBA. They've been grinding to grow the sport to the world, the viewerships. They've been grinding for all of this. And then you have this girl that comes along from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. There's going to be girls that are offended by it.
Paul George never questioned Caitlin Clark's talent. In fact, he acknowledged that she has immediately changed the league. At the same time, he pointed out something that often gets overlooked: the emotional impact on veteran players who spent years building the WNBA. Those players fought for better conditions, played in front of small crowds, and rarely received the attention that Caitlin has from the start of her career. George didn't excuse any resentment toward her, but he explained why some players may feel that way, showing that this moment affects the entire league, not just one athlete. He made it clear that Caitlin represents a major shift in women's basketball. Luka Doncic also made his opinion known in his usual direct style. When asked who his favorite women's basketball player was, he answered, Caitlin Clark, without hesitation. Even after being asked about Paige Bueckers, Luka stayed with his original choice, making it clear that his respect was based on what Caitlin is accomplishing at the professional level. His response showed that he values players who consistently perform against top competition. Coming from one of the NBA's biggest stars, that wasn't just a compliment. It was recognition that Caitlin has already proven herself. Steph Curry reached a similar conclusion after watching the hard fouls against her and the league's silence. He decided it was time to speak up, and his comments were not only a show of support for Caitlin Clark, but also a message to everyone paying attention to what was happening around her.
Favorite women's basketball player?
Caitlin Clark.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't like Paige Bueckers?
No, she's okay. I didn't see her playing the women's NBA.
Steph Curry's comments went far beyond simply showing support for Caitlin Clark. His words were a clear message that both the league and everyone watching should pay attention to what she was experiencing. After speaking out about the way she had been treated, he took it a step further by analyzing her game in the kind of detail only one of the greatest shooters ever could. Curry praised her quick release, deep shooting range, perfect timing, and fearless style of play, noting that many of those qualities reminded him of his own approach to the game. The respect in his voice was obvious, as he even mentioned seeing an analysis of how fast Caitlin gets her shot off, showing just how closely he had been following her performances.
Watching Caitlin getting attacked, if the league doesn't step up and protect her, things are going to get ugly real fast.
Steph Curry said Caitlin Clark's shooting reminds him of his own, and coming from the greatest shooter in NBA history, that carries tremendous weight. His praise wasn't limited to her ability to score from deep. He also highlighted her passing, court vision, timing, feel for the game, and overall basketball IQ, making it clear that he sees her as a complete player, not just a great shooter. His comments reflected genuine admiration from one elite player to another. On the other hand, Jason Tatum gave a very different response when asked to name his favorite WNBA player. He chose Aya Wilson and did not mention Caitlin Clark at all. While Aya Wilson is one of the league's most accomplished stars, the narrator argues that Tatum's decision to leave Caitlin out was disappointing because of her impact on the WNBA. Despite facing constant physical play, missing out on Team USA, and dealing with non-stop media attention, Caitlin has continued to perform at a high level and handle the pressure with professionalism. According to the narrator, Tatum's response sent a message by failing to recognize her achievements. The discussion then shifted to Kevin Durant, noting that because of his influence in basketball, many people were eager to hear which female player he would choose when asked for his favorite. When Kevin Durant was asked to name his favorite women's basketball player, he answered immediately, but it wasn't Caitlin Clark. The narrator argues that this was a deliberate choice because Caitlin has been the biggest story in basketball, filling arenas, breaking viewership records, and bringing unprecedented attention to the WNBA while dealing with hard fouls, criticism, and being left off the Olympic team. Instead, Durant chose Angel Reese, which the narrator views as overlooking Caitlin's impact and reinforcing the resistance she has faced throughout the season. According to the narrator, when influential NBA players stay silent or choose not to recognize her achievements, it only adds to the challenges she already faces. Even so, many other NBA stars have openly praised Caitlin. Pascal Siakam highlighted her popularity. Steph Curry admired her complete skill set. LeBron James respected both her talent and her influence. Tyrese Halliburton placed her among basketball's biggest names. Luka Doncic openly picked her as his favorite women's player. Trae Young welcomed the idea of competing against her. Obi Toppin showed genuine appreciation, and Paul George acknowledged the major impact she has had on the league. While opinions among NBA stars differ, the narrator concludes that Caitlin Clark has become a player who demands attention and sparks strong reactions. Her ability to attract massive audiences, generate record-breaking interest, and receive both praise and criticism on the level of the sport's biggest stars is presented as proof that she is already making a historic impact, with a belief that her career is only beginning.